Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second part of this series going over the different layers of makeup and just slowly going and talking about how to apply it correctly and different textures and best things to use. And today we will be going over concealing and contouring using bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So this will be quite an exciting one, and I've learned that not many people know exactly how to contour, which is kind of surprising to me because to me it wasn't that hard per se. It just took a little bit of practice and looking at people on TV, seeing where it is, and just learning as much as I could. So we will be starting with concealer, and I use the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer in the shade Cloud. And this is very good for coverage and not just concealing, but also highlighting and just using for all that. So I put it mostly under my eyes, kind of bringing it out a little bit, and then after my eyes, I kind of highlight a bit of my lower forehead and then bring it down my nose and make almost like an exclamation mark shape, along with bringing it on the sides a bit to lighten up this area. And then once you have that, you can blend it in with your beauty blender. Just like dab it. Don't drag it, but like kind of dab it and spread it out nice and evenly to your liking. Concealer really helps cover up those bumps and blemishes and those annoying spots and things such as acne and that redness. And I mean, like, everyone has acne, and I'm a teenager, so I definitely have acne. So that is always a struggle and can be easily solved with simply concealer, and that is glorious. The shade for my concealer is the lightest they have because, again, if you have not seen the previous video, I am quite pale, and so may not seem like it on parts of the camera, but I am. Reality of things. So what I use has to be quite pale. And now I use the Merle Norman powder, and it's in the shade Ultra Cameo. This is actually a lot darker than the foundation I use because it kind of just balances out that color. I'm gonna bring that and just kind of dab it everywhere. Doing it very lightly because this is definitely more of a matte powder. And if you use too much, it can look cakey at times, and you don't really want that because it doesn't look as nice and neat and pretty as it would. Then you want to drag a little bit down your neck to balance out that color. Once you have that, I use the infallible L'Oreal Paris Pro Sweep and Lock Translucent Setting Powder. And I basically take this and use kind of more of a flatter sponge and lightly dip it in here and put it under my eyes to keep the concealer there, because you do not want that running down or running off in the middle of the day. I'll mostly put that there very lightly. And down here to lighten it up a little bit more. And a little on the forehead. These are the parts of your skin that are really the lightest and should be the lightest part in your makeup, because when you lighten up those parts, it really brightens up your face and just brings out different features. So now we can move on to bronzer. And I use the NARS and bronzer, and it's definitely it's the matte bronzer, and it is the lighter shade. And I use a brush, kind of smaller, and I run it generally like right below your cheeks. And we will blend it in a second. And then you want to blend it in up here. Darken up your hairline a bit, because that usually is a darker part along with your jawline. And then for the nose, which is probably one of the more important parts when it comes to contouring, because you can give off the illusion that you have more of a slimmer nose by just going and dragging it basically right above that bone there. And then making a little V at the bottom, causing you to look like you have more of a slimmer nose. And then I usually take my powder brush and I just blend it out by doing little circles. Blending out that color so it doesn't look as harsh and just kind of in your face, and just blends out with the rest of your skin. And when you want to blend on your neck, you want to go downwards, because then it gives you that sharp jawline illusion. And then down with your nose. Since you want to keep this central part light, you want to go more downwards, while also trying to maintain not a very harsh line. So now that we're done with bronzing, I'm gonna move on to blush. And I use the NARS blush and the shade Behave. So it's definitely more of a lighter pink, more of a nude. Very pretty. And I take like a slightly bigger brush than used for the bronzing and just dip it in and lightly go along and above where you put the bronzing, and just go upward strokes. You don't really want to go directly out. You just kind of want to follow your cheeks and right above that cheekbone and go up a little bit. And same on the other side. Give you more of that pink shade to your face, bring back some color, and then a little bit on the nose. And it is your choice. Some people like to bring it all the way up and like connect your cheeks to your nose to give it kind of that more cute look. It's really up to you. I don't usually do that unless I'm doing freckles and other extra little things. And then you want to put a little on your chin. and on the forehead. Okay, now that we're done with blush, we can move on to highlighter, which is my favorite part. I use a brush like this, so that's very light and very easy to just easily brisk. And I use the highlighter from Revolution, and it is the Lust highlighter in shade White Rose. And it actually, even though it says White Rose, it's not a white highlighter. It has actually more of a pink undertone, and colored highlighters are actually a very newer concept. So and it goes on very easily, and it's very bright, and just you want to put it directly kind of above your cheek. Push your blush and nicely drag it very easily. And then when it comes to your nose, you want to do that kind of same like exclamation mark type thing. So I just nicely go down and then do my little exclamation mark. And then you want to be very gentle when it comes to these other places. When you want to put just a little on your chin and just a little on your forehead right in between your brows. So about this space right here. And there you go, that's about highlighting. And the good thing about highlighting is that you can't really go overboard with it. Like, everyone likes a good highlight. So it's always just fun to use and mess around with. And it's always so pretty. So it's just one of my favorite bits. So that is the end of this section. Hopefully you learned how to properly contour. And I will see you next time, where we will go over brows and hopefully move into eyes. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.